Tuesday, so you know the deal. It's time for Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle on LA Talk Radio.
Yeah, it's another one of those Casual Reds show. It's my favorite part of the day. You know, Cali can be stressy sometimes, a little stressy sometimes. But let's get since we're talking about Cali, let's talk about the law firm. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got our sponsors, Belorian and Manukian LLP, personal injury litigation firm, over a decade of experience with real results. You can maximize your compensation with us, over 98% success rate. And you know where to call them, 747-444-4444.
And let's bring in the gentlemen, the lads, the stateside Reds. Represent P-Bird. I mean, Sean, you kind of looking golden today. You been out in the sun?
Oh, I have been out in the sun, baby.
Oh,
I don't know about golden, but I got my pasty ass white skin burnt this weekend.
That's never a good time.
Man.
Oh, look. I don't know if you can see it. Look how red that shit is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a little bit reddish.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy, Mikey, everybody's favorite. Some of my cousins want to be like, thank you for letting us know. That was killing me. Also, that's what you do. You do things for man. That's what you do. But anyway, my guy, what's going on, my bro?
What it do, man? What it do? Hey, listen, everybody right now, tomorrow, we're going live 8 o'clock, United Fan Zone. You can see it on my screen right here. Yeah, there we go. I'm getting used to that. You can see it right here. You can tap in with us, man. Go ahead and follow, like, subscribe, get on there. Me and my man Sean going there. We gonna be talking some real ball. We ESPN without the douchery of Sports Center. You know what time it is.
Yeah, you talking about ESPN FC crews are very. There's a general overtone. Oh, they're very anti-United.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk too bad about them because my boy Shaka Hislop is on there.
No. Shaka's
a little straight,
fairest.
but the dudes from like Chelsea and Liverpool, they're salty because they just got beat down. That's why.
Oh, my
That's
Lord.
what it is.
He even turns red to one dude when they talk about United.
Yeah.
But
Steve
anyway,
Nickel.
Exactly.
It's good to come on, gentlemen. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Whoa. My boy got
Talking shit over.
How did that happen?
As Casey gets that settled in, we got a lot of topics, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's a good time, so you can tell.
Yeah,
it's a good time to talk about United.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I knocked over the computer.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what I did here.
You straight, Casey?
Right. I ain't, but anyway.
It's all right. We're live. We're just live. It's all good.
Yeah.
We're just live.
So it's good to come to United and feel good. You know, the general overtone of everything, everybody seems to be in good spirits. You know, people are happy with the movement of the club, the way things are progressing. We're doing multiple things on multiple fronts. Players are getting out. They're rebuilding. So they're doing everything at one time. You know, Eric Ten Hag came out and spoke very favorably. He seemed to be energetic. He seemed to be positive. So it's good to have this release called Manchester United where it's not stressful. You know, we've had many times when we get together and talk and it's just not, we're just down. We don't know what's going to happen next. But now it's different to see us moving like a big club. And it's wild to hear people say we're finally moving like a big club. I want to say we're moving like a modern club. Would you guys agree?
No, we're moving like a big club, baby.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I would echo
We're
those.
moving for once in our fucking lives. We're moving like a big club. We got 4 negotiations with defenders on right now. Shit.
Yeah, that's the good part. I mean, there's a lot of things that seem to be almost cement in stone. I know there's not really, you can't say it is, but the Zersky thing looks good. The lit thing looks good. The one I really like is Ugarte. I hope that works out. But Mikey, how do you feel about the general vibe to you of everything that's going on right now?
Yeah, I like what's going on here. It's nice to be into different talks with different players, not one player at a time or rushing to get whoever. We have our guys. We have the people that we like. We got the guys up top doing what they need to do. Just want to see these signings go off with some good with some real good money behind them, and actually add into our fund to buy players with the sale of some players. So yeah, I like it. You know what? We're not worried because we don't also have to watch them play on top of it. So they actually are making moves before we have to actually be playing as well. So that's the nice part about it. The season's right around the corner. So hopefully we can get those done, and those guys I can see those guys in South Carolina. And
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's right. And speaking about the players we're trying to get in, what about the players we're trying to get out? Do you guys put any weight to it? What the mayor over there in Marseille was talking about Greenwood. Do you think that holds any weight to it?
I think it's a done deal.
Go ahead, Sean.
I think that's a done deal. Like,
right.
I think that'll be officially signed in the next couple of days. He ain't coming back to United. And 30 million euros for him right now with a huge sell-on fee. Take it.
It's all profit too. That'll be one of the first times. That'll be the largest profit we made off one player in years.
10 years, I think it was said.
30.
Yeah, it's interesting that could be like our first deal to go. I mean,
again,
it's not interesting. It needed to be actually the first deal because there's a lot of concerns that people are saying, is he going to be in camp? Even Sancho, who's been told to stay away. Has he been told to stay away? Sean, you said he was told to stay away, or did he didn't even show up?
I said this on the show last week. Him and Greenwood were both told to stay away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's straight then. So,
and then I guess Juventus is probably digging around for him, but Juve is they need to sell the buy. They need to sell the buy, so that's the deal. Is going to take longer than it should, I guess. But
I honestly see I see Sancho going on loan with an obligation to buy.
Do you think it'll be a loan?
I think it'll be a loan with an obligation to buy. Yeah.
Or
it's either that or United accept Chisora in exchange. Or Cheese or whatever his name is.
Yeah. It's just so refreshing to have these type of conversations at this point, right? With multiple players we're going after at the same time, as opposed to a season ago when we're frustrated to try to go after one player and them just kind of just taking us for a ride and seeing if we're going to get them or not. And at this point, having all these different type of players trying to get them in, it's so refreshing to see that.
I mean, if you see all the people that we have working and their different titles, it's amazing that we actually ever got anything accomplished with Woodward and Murtaugh and Arnold, who are basically the main figures. I mean, when Woodward was there, he was basically doing all these jobs. So it makes sense now when you see us progressing and doing multiple things. When you see how Woodward was struggling, just trying to get one deal over would take months. And it's embarrassing that we were ran so poorly. I mean, I don't really want to, go too deep in that, but it's just amazing that we had the audacity to think Woodward could actually be productive in this where you have teams like the Scousers had 2 directors of football. You know what I'm saying? And then Chelsea had whatever they're going on in City with them cheating Ross clock self. They had what was going on over there too. So let's talk about the guys that everybody seems to be high on, or the club seems to be high on. The Zersky kid. Now that deal seems to be, if anything is really going to happen, I think that's the deal that I feel that's going to be the first one. Everything is productive. The kid wants to come. The fee's right. He fits in the system. Eric Ten Hag has talked to him, and the word is him and DeLit. We'll talk more about DeLit later, but basically, when the Euro's over, medicals will be scheduled. How do you guys feel about the kid? Have you guys got a chance to watch film? Because I'm going to keep it 100, Mikey. I have not seen. I didn't watch him last season, but I looked at this film now. So go ahead, Sean.
I have, and I was actually talking about this with Mikey just before this. He's not a striker. I watched all of his highlights. A couple of people talking about him, and he's very much a Harry Kane. He likes to drop back. His ability to turn is great. He drops back and will run at the ball. His ability to come off the edge of the box and score a goal is great. But he's not a traditional striker. And I was saying this earlier, and I don't care what anyone says. I would drop Rashford, but Rasmus on the left, Zersky up front.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I haven't heard that one.
That's crazy, Sean. Because just like Casey, I'm not gonna, speak on something like I don't know much about. Like, I didn't see any of his games, but just like Sean, I did catch his highlights, and a lot of his highlights, he's catching the ball deep and with pace coming at defenders. So I was like, okay, that's a different type of player that we don't really have, right? As a number 9 up front.
He's like a taller Martial.
Yeah. And coming into United, he has a worse scoring rate than Rasmus did for Atlanta. His goal scoring rate is not good at where he's at. So do we start him over Rasmus, or do we make room for both of them?
So my thing is with him, I would like, for the wages that he's going to be on, the money that we're going to get him in for, it's okay to put him on the bench. Young kid's going to be, Rude's going to be there to coach him on, to get both of those guys right. So I'm okay with that. I like he has pace. I'm a pace merchant. I love players with pace. I love athletes, as you know. I think he could be that. I think he could turn. He has a good half turn on the ball. I will say, as a United fan, for years, we've been at least 10. We've been kind of highlight merchants ourselves, right? Especially on Twitter. You got every young kid with a fucking anime emoji or a United player emoji. They're going to drop, Xerxes highlight. Fuck it. And they're going to put on 30, 45 minutes of his best passes, his best shots. I've fallen into that and watched that too. But I've been trying to go back and just watch whole games. Not easy, but watch whole games with him in it, or ones that he scored in, to see how he got to that point, to see how they've gotten to that, to see what kind of team he was playing around, right? He wasn't playing with the best team in the world. We're not one of the better teams either. So, I think he's good for the money. For the money, for the coaching structure that we have in, as far as Rude being there to be able to coach them up, I think it's perfect. So I was with it last week. I was like, let's get him in. But I'm not expecting the world. That's the one thing I have to stress to our fans. If you're watching, do not expect the world to turn overnight. It's going to be a long ride.
One thing I am concerned a little bit about him is, why did Bayern let him go? He played for Bayern. I don't know if anyone knows that.
Yeah,
Bayern let him go, but why?
Well, from what I gathered, it was more of a situation where he was not happy. He was also not happy with the situation. He wanted to go, so he wanted to progress, because Bayern, in his eyes, he felt he was like he's being held back. And Bayern was, in their eyes, I don't think they saw that. Well, you have every right to wonder why they let him go, because Bayern, for some reason, if they wanted to keep him, they would have fought for him. So, but he's not the only player that we're going after where there's a reason someone is letting them go. And Bayern is a common link for another player. But we have more to see in the other player.
With De Ligt, though, the fans don't want him to go. Have you seen the protest right now? There's a huge protest in letting him go.
I saw that.
But he seems like he wants United, so I think Bayern are going to give him that move, considering they want that Bayern Leverkusen centre back too. So I think they're going to let him go. But for people to sit there and with him, De Ligt, he left Juve because of the money, because they needed the money. Like, he's leaving Bayern because they want to buy another player, but the fans clearly see something. And I honestly believe if he had played that second leg against Madrid, I think they would have beat Madrid. He didn't play.
Yeah, so I'm reading now that so Bayern thing is that they have Harry Kane, Matthews Tell, they're who's Vincent Kompany's a fan of. And they were also thinking about going after Gerasi. So Xerxes saw that, and he was like, yo, I don't want to be the last line in, I got two guys that are ahead of me that are one's 5 years older and one's almost 10. And like, you're also thinking about bringing in another hot topic. And Tell's not even like, out and out striker. He's a winger hybrid. So he left because of that. He didn't want to be. He wanted to go and start on another team, and you already think about bringing in Harry Kane. It's like, If you think about bringing in Harry Kane, I'm not a priority, and I'm not going to start over Harry Kane. Harry Kane's going to play every game, and he did, and he went on to score a lot of goals and be their best player. So I get it. I get it. You wanna play now. You're gonna put yourself in the best position to play now. And was it Bologna? Bologna was in the best position to get him, and it didn't kind of didn't work out as much as they probably wanted it to. But I think he showed enough because he garnered a lot of interest.
Yeah, and the thing with him, and it's like everybody's touched on it in a way: the price, the youth, the talent you see, everybody and we also just temper yourself. This kid is not brought in, and to answer your initial question, he's brought in to support Rasmus. We got to keep it 100. Rasmus is the guy, but there's going to be situations where they can both play together because they won't occupy the same space, and he might get more service from him than some of the other guys in the squad. I mean, I can see a situation where Rashford is benched, and we're like, listen, you want to play on this side for a little bit? I mean, that's the type of player he is, and he might show something where, damn, he's better than Rashford.
I think the bigger question is, can he survive the roughness and the mentality of the Premier League? That's all it is. Can he survive that? Is Rasmus going to put him up on game like, hey, bro, this ain't Serie A. This is in Germany. This is something. This is the NFL. This is full contact here. We're not, and this is what you're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. So I hope my biggest thing with any number 9 that comes into this club is that they understand the magnitude of who they're playing for and the league that they're playing in, and then they can adjust. Because Martial couldn't adjust with it. His body just couldn't handle it.
Well, that's just the brilliance of Rude right now. He can solve all of those.
Yeah, Rude can, and well, yeah, because how good Rude was doing it, but also, is this going to bump Rashford's ass up and make him play better next year? Hopefully.
Hope so.
Because like this is, yeah, he's got 2 people that can play in his position now. You got Garnacho.
Listen, we've all agreed. We've watched this team when there's competition, it brings out the best.
Not just that, but they're 2 young dudes that are athletes, that are younger than him, that are hungry to show out and show a name for themselves and trying to get in the roster, right? So now he has to see it as like, okay, I got to step up my game if I want to play in regularly.
I don't think he has a choice. I think if he plays badly next year, he's gone.
He definitely has to be gone. I think anybody who's a Rashford supporter.
You talking about who's ever a Rashford supporter? You're the one saying that.
I'm talking about myself.
Okay.
I'm talking about myself. I'm only giving him a year.
All right.
I'm only giving him a year, and it's only because of his pattern. Shitty year, good year, shitty year, good year. And I'm just gonna let him do his pattern. And it's tough because I know mad people who are just not feeling Rashford right now, and they have every right to not to feel him. Rashford it's been a huge disappointment. He's the one person we've all agreed should understand what it's all about to play for Manchester United, and he does not show everything. His nature, his play, his hustle, it's just horrible. And I'm the one person probably in this group I know that's supporting him, and he got a year with me, straight up, my nigga.
Got it.
Straight.
It kind of sounds like you talked your way into saying that Mbappe is better than him.
I never said Rashford was better than Mbappe. See how
you said that. You did say that.
The thing was clipped, bro. You got caught on 4K.
He reminds
4K.
Me of Mbappe. Because I think Mbappe and Rashford have this one thing where I think they need to be more cerebral in the game.
These are your words exactly. Sean says, with him playing in that year that he scored 30 goals, he was like, he's better than him. That's how you finish him. You tried to finish Sean's sentence by saying he's better than him. And it's like, no. And then when you say good year, bad year, good year, what's a good year looking like outside of the 30 goals?
It's pretty good. It's in goals in the 20s.
Has he scored more than 10 goals in the Premier League outside of that 30-goal season?
Yeah, he had 20 a couple of years ago. Twice, I believe.
So it's not every other year. It's every 2 years.
Yeah.
No,
it's 27. That's insane.
He's the best player in Mbappe? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Can't be any worse than Mbappe
today. Straight to Madrid right now. Chill out.
Yeah.
He could be worse. He could be worse than Mbappe. He's not. He's not in England.
Mhm.
He's not playing in England, so he'll have the same amount of minutes and goals as I do.
That's hilarious. So let's go into the lit. The next one that seems to be, I don't want to say, a done deal, but everybody's talked. There's been a formal bid. Bid's been approved and okay. Ten Hag talked to him. The lit seems excited. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about the lit? Go ahead, Jerome.
I feel good about that one. That's the guy that Ten Hag wants, and not just that, the player wants to come to United. So I'm always all out for a player that has said, "Yep, no team but United." We want those type of players. We want a player that wants to come here hungry, wants to wear the jersey and play for the jersey and play for just for the crowd, right? For the fans, and that's what we want. I want someone like that. I got it. We talked about why he has been from different team to different team is not really because of him, especially now, right? The fan base does not want to let him go. So I want a player like that in my squad. So,
yeah, considering he turned down Liverpool and PSG, they both had interest, and he
exactly, yeah, you were right.
Mm-hmm. He's such a good defender, and he already he's going to walk into that team knowing how to play Ten Hag ball next to another defender that knows how to play Ten Hag ball.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, and they're both going to be able to play that high line and be able to deal with it. The only thing I'm concerned about is the left back if Shaw gets injured, but
Mikey, are you calm on the lit? Is there someone where you just warmed up to him, or you just like, this is a good signing?
So my thing with the lit is that I love the signing. I think it's a great quality. And like Jeremy hit it on the head, and we were talking about it a little bit before. We want a guy that wants to come and play for this team. That he's like, yo, I want to be here. So like, he ticks that box for me. Good. Like, come on, you want the challenge. You know what it is. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him. I will admit. I don't know what the pairing is going to be, right? That was a question we also had. I don't know what the pairing is going to be. I don't know. How does he complement Martinez? Is he slow? Can he, does he have the pace? I know he's big. He could be physical, but does he have the pace? Is he, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him. He might, and he might not. I don't know. I'm just hoping he's another one. It doesn't have to be a number 9, but just a player that's coming in. I just want to see if they can adapt to this English game because it's not easy. It's very rough, and you're going into the position where it's going to be the roughest. So I want you. I hope he's mean. I hope he's nasty. I hope he's mean. I hope he can hang. But I'm okay with it. I like him so far.
Would you say Lisandro accommodated, or he transitioned well to the Premier?
Yeah,
Martinez.
His game was suited for it. He's
right.
mean. He's a mean little bitch. He gets there, and then I watched Pep. When we beat them, he was like, "Yo, we lost because Lisandro Martinez was playing right through our midfield. He did the exact things that they needed to get them on the front foot. And if you look at it, he was on the end of everything good. He hardly put a foot wrong. So his game was tailor made for that. I think that's just a Uruguay thing.
But the thing is,
Argentinian.
I think they're going to suit each other.
I'm sorry. Yes, Argentinian. Sorry.
But I think Sean hit something that a point that I didn't think about for a second, that he's gonna, if that does happen, that partnering, right, of Martinez and him, that's gonna go well because they both know the system, right? That is, it's already going to be hard enough to come into the Premier League and get adjusted to the roughness of the Prem, but to have another defender next to you that knows the system, that can kind of guide you, right? That is already a win.
You can't have two crashing guys. You got to have one dude who's calm, reserved, a little bit more cerebral, reading the game. Because Martinez
that's what the is. Well, that's what the is.
Mm-hmm. He's also a car crash?
So no, he is a car crash, but he's also the guy that wants to boss that defense. Like, he wants to be the guy that runs that back defense, and that's one of the reasons why it's not working out too well at Bayern for him. because they already have
That
two
guy.
solid defenders at the back. But to Mikey's point, he's fast. He's not lightning fast, but he's fast. He can get back, and he's also a player that doesn't sit back too well. He'll go to the ball to challenge the ball, but then but he also has the pace if that player turns it, which a lot of the Premier League players can do. He also has that pace to get back, which is a really good thing to see. Like I actually watched some of the Ajax games when he was at Ajax, especially in the Champions League, and I've done some research on because I was at the same point, is he good enough to get back? And from what I've seen and what I've really looked into the videos, he's a player that likes to go right up against the player and play the high line, but he also has that pace to get back, and he also knows when to stand off a player too. So if he'll stand back and send them out wide, and then have that ability to have the left back or the right back to be able to help cover him too. He does have the pace to get back.
It's going to be a good combination. And the one thing about De Ligt's price at 43 mil, that's excellent. And he's also taking he's taking is it pounds? It says 43 million pounds, deal close.
Yeah.
And he's taking down the wage, the weekly wage. He's agreed to things. And you guys, the first thing you guys said is he wants to be here. And that shows that's a player.
Yeah, he said, I think the
here.
report was that he's only given United, right? That green light.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the only team we've talked to.
Yeah.
We're the only team he's talked to. So those two deals seem to be good.
And one of the best qualities about him, one of the guys I'm just chatting to, is his vertical. He's 6'4".
Yeah.
I mean, Mikey touched on it earlier. You need a tall player. He reminds me of Varane, to be honest with you. He's quick getting back. He's solid in the air. And we're going to need that.
Yeah.
But there is another player that we...
That's crazy you're talking about Varane, too, because are we also in on that, the young, was it 19-year-old? What's his name that we talked about earlier, Casey?
We talked about
he plays over there in I think League One, right?
Oh, you mean Lenny? Well,
yeah.
Lenny's an interesting cause because what I don't like about Lenny is what you guys touched on. He's waiting on Real Madrid, and the thing is, he's the class. What everybody seems, if we got a marquee defender, that seems to be the one everybody wanted.
Yeah, because he's the one that people remind.
But they're going hard for Brandwick too. There's still good. There's going to be a third bid tomorrow for him. I think third bid for him.
We want two defenders, and we're bidding with multiple people to sit there and say, okay, you want too much for Braithwaite? I'll just go for YOLO. Okay, you want too much for him? I'll go for De Ligt. We're doing again. It touches back on something we haven't done since Fergie left. The ability to go after players and not sit back and have one player go, we need De Jong. We're going to take 2 months to get him. No, we're going after, and we're showing other teams okay, you want too much? We'll go after somebody else.
That's very true because I know Real wants him, but they're kind of saying we can't bid for you for that much. Just wait on us a year. And United's like, well, okay, we're going to raise that price. If Real really wants you, they would get you. So.
It's going to be interesting what happens with them because, Sean said, we want two defenders, and it's going to be sweet for us, the supporters, if they do land two defenders. It's just going to make a solid squad. So,
I mean, you got to think that we've seen Martinez get hurt, and we've seen what it looks like when we're on last legs, depending on a 35-year-old. And all that good jazz, right? So we're just trying to mitigate that as much as you can. The thing with Euro that's interesting is that he wants to go to Real Madrid. He's one of those guys that's like, yo, that's my dream. I want to go there, and the thing is, he's not going to start there. He's not going to play there. And there's no guarantees that he even gets in that team substantially, right? Outside of a few fringe games. There's no promises being made there. There's never any with a Real, right? You have to be the top of the top to be there. You have to be a fully made Ferrari. You can't have trading wheels on. You got to be ready, right? And he If he's okay with sitting on the bench, then like I said to Sean, God bless you, bro. Go sit on the bench and make your bread. But if you're ready to play, or if you're ready to play more games than you would for fucking Real Madrid, then you come to United and take the money. If anything, in both situations, you get to play for a big club for substantial wages, and you're 19. You're 19. So in 3 years, 4 years time, you could be someplace else. You could go and asking for more money. And who knows, the landscape could change then. Who knows? It could be, all right, well, you know what? I actually want to go to City. I actually want to go to whatever the fuck. You probably won't go to City. But, just saying, like, you could build your stock in either team. But who are you more likely to be able to do that with? Man United or the fucking Champions League winner who have their 2 and 3 and 4th choice guys already?
Mm-hmm. And to turn around, you look at Ronaldo. You got it there, right, Mikey? Ronaldo came to United, excelled at United. His dream was to play for Real Madrid. He went to Real Madrid. And how much money did he get at Real Madrid by just playing for United and having that ability to come in and progress?
Forced his way out.
Mm-hmm.
Twice.
Exactly.
Forced his way out.
But we don't talk about the second time.
The first time was almost as bad. It's only because he was younger. It was cool, but he was like, I feel like a slave. He said that I feel like a slave having to go back and play when I want to move on. And it was like, okay, you feel like a slave? Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's a hard word.
Yeah, people don't talk about that enough because we had his whole ascendancy afterwards, and we end up doing the business. The second time was a lot more sloppy with Piers Morgan and all that shit. He had to do that right in his mind. But
that was a horrible.
Lenny Earl will get suitors if he comes and plays with us, and he'll be able to make that move to Real Madrid and be a more ready player to go. I don't think he's ready to go there yet for what they want from him. He's more suited to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the reason I brought him up is because Sean talked about like a replacement for Varane and the videos that I've seen that he draws comparisons to a younger Varane, right? Back when United wanted to get him the first time initially.
Was that the or
Euro?
Let me ask you guys something. Are you concerned that we're heavy center back right now? There's no,
because I think Maguire goes.
Yeah,
exactly. But what are our left back options?
So the talk is we are in the market to sign the left back. I don't know if anyone's seen this. There's reports coming out yesterday about Chilwell, which I think is an absolutely fucking terrible idea. But then there's also, I can never pronounce his name, the guy we got last year from Tottenham, Reguilon, whatever his name is, coming back in for on a small amount of deal, 15 million, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the Reguilon deal. I'm okay with that. It's just that who you kind of got to sign 2 guys because it's like who's gonna back you there, right? Like because if Malacia is not ready, Luke Shaw is not ready. Luke Shaw can get hurt tomorrow.
Shut your mouth, Mikey. Shut your mouth.
That's in the cards.
Left backs, right?
He could be. He's already on pace to be hurt tomorrow. He played a game, so tomorrow he could be hurt. That's how that works, right? So
I will drive to Atlanta, Mikey.
Don't say that in front of Sean.
I will drive to Atlanta tomorrow, Mikey.
I'm just saying, the guys, and I feel bad for him, right? Because these things you can't control. They just happen. Sometimes your body just can't do it, or so you can have the ability, but your body just can't do it, or it's at its limit. I'm not saying that about him. I do think he needs to go. I'll give him another year just because he's been here. I will give him this year. Hopefully he could play most of his games, but I'm just always thinking the other shoe's going to drop with him. So to bring in Chilwell is the same situation. Chilwell hardly plays for Chelsea, and he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great as of late. He hasn't wowed me with what he's done. So he kind of be like Mount a little bit. I'm not feeling that. Reguilon, bring on Reguilon. Reguilon's played. He's pretty much healthy most of the time. He's been pretty good for us. Why not?
Would you guys, Mikey? Would you be happy with a left back depth chart of Shaw, Malacia, Reguilon, and Harry Amos?
No. because two of those guys, one of them we haven't seen in a year, and the other one we haven't seen in
So you
half
say
a
we
year.
need 2 left backs then?
I would like to splash. I feel like if we spend money, if we're gonna spend some money, like we want to do, we're not gonna do it. But if we wanted to spend some money on a position, that's the position we need to get younger at, and we need to improve at. So I would spend some cash on that, on a proven player that's played, that doesn't really get hurt or doesn't have the injury record that the Chilwell has or Luke Shaw has. And Malassi's injury record is brand new. This is new. But you never know. Injury is one of those things you just can't. You could spend $100 million on a guy and he don't play for the year. So
I think
you never know.
I think the left back position is going to be what, he said that no, we're not going to fix everything this year. I think the left back position is something for next summer. I think that's why he brings Reguilón in for a year or two.
And then, okay, what's up with the right? Because is it just Dallo? Is the Wan-Bissaka move still materializing? Because we're gonna need something for that too.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka has 2 offers on the table, and he's weighing out his options.
And they're both very piss poor off. I think he's worth more. I think he's worth more in a league that can support his ability. He can't go forward. We know that now. I mean, he can go forward. He can't cross the street. That's the difference. Okay. And he's tactically 1v1 perfect. Spatially, no, he's not a good defender there. He gets caught out a lot. He doesn't check his shoulders, lets in a lot of goals because he's not checking his shoulders. And if you put him in front of a guy like a Doku or whatever, yeah, he's gonna beat you for sure. But he has his limitations and he's older. So I think 25 million. We give us 25 million and you can have him tomorrow.
I think
10 million is crazy.
Yeah. I think we missed out on a big opportunity with Palace there for Elise.
Giving him in the trade.
Yeah.
I mean, in the deal.
Yeah, I think we missed out on a big opportunity there because talking about right back, our right side is shit too. Anthony is dog shit, absolute dog shit.
Damn.
And
I thought our left side was the weakest. Our left back side.
No, because I think Garnacho plays better on the right. But behind Garnacho, there's nobody. Ahmed, okay, but he's not proven it over a long period of time. He's come in, scored some good goals, but he hasn't proven it over a long time. Palestri looks like he's about to go, especially with the comments I've seen today.
Yeah, he's Sky Sports. What is that his name? So that Palestri wants to move out. He wants out.
Yeah, Palestri wants out. And then, I don't know. I think there's a good player in there with Anthony if he can learn to use his right foot. Because I saw it at Ajax. He had the ability to go down that right, cross with the right, cut in on the left. But when you're a one-dimensional player like Anthony is, and you cut into the left, your center back and the left back are just going to sit there because they know he's not going to go down the right. So we don't have, other than Garnacho, and we can't do to Garnacho what we did this year. We could not. That kid was burnt out.
Yeah,
and we just can't do that to him again this year. We need some cover on that right side, and I think it was a massive missed opportunity signing Elise and getting Wan-Bissaka out at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, when you go down our roster, you look at the issues. I mean, I wanted to talk about Manuel Ugarte and
in the midfield. Now you're talking about the midfield.
But I just was throwing the left back at you, and we saw some red flags. Then the right side got brought up. We seen red flags. I mean, I'm just saying to you guys, we're going it's brilliant. Heavy center back right now. And I'm just saying, what are our options?
Look how many shots we gave up.
Yeah, how many goals? We had a negative goal.
It starts with your midfield too. If we have a better holding midfielder like Manuel Ugarte, that's going to limit that.
But I also think getting 2 solid center backs and wanting to play the way Ten Hag wants to play with the higher line, players that know how to play and pass around, that also is going to help out with your midfield, make your midfield look better, like with Kobe Manuel, right?
Yeah, but see,
the problem with Ugarte is he doesn't. If you look at Uruguay or PSG, he doesn't have that ability to kind of hold. He kind of reminds me a little, not as bad, but as what's his name? The Scottish player. Fucking hell. What is it going off my head for now?
McTominay?
McTominay. He's
Oh
not,
my God.
he's not as great as turning. Like overall, he's a million times better than McTominay. But that turn and spatial awareness, he isn't very good at doing that.
Casey just gave me that look of disgust that it reminds you of McTominay.
Well, just in that one area, that to collect the ball and to turn.
It looks like you were kind of high on trying to get him, right, Ugarte?
I want Ugarte.
think he would be. If we sign him, it would be our second best signing.
Yeah, because Casey, right now, once you drop that name McTominay, Casey just gave me a look
Well,
like.
I don't see them as the same position.
All right.
No,
I
want McTominay gone too. Like he needs to go.
I don't see that, but I've watched. You know, we've all focused on Ugarte when he plays now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I love the he gets stuck in. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's a better passer than I thought he was, but I like the character in that player. I think our locker room needs a player like that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Casemiro?
Speaking of Casemiro, isn't he still signed to us? I think I read something that he's not in a rush to leave.
Well, he wants to prove
I
himself.
mean, bro, I'll be honest. Half a game, Casemiro, as opposed to whole game Casemiro at this age. You give him 20, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
20, 30
you
minutes.
start Ugarte, and then
We're good.
you start Ugarte and you say, hey, you know, Casemiro, go on and do a job for 25 minutes,
You
man.
need the money,
You got the legs for you have the legs for 25 minutes. Give us that.
Bring in the closer.
I will say this: he came back looking fit.
He did.
Last year, he came back heavy last year, but this year he came back looking good. And he apparently apologized to Ten Hag and said that last year wasn't acceptable and he wants to make amends this year. So I agree with Mikey. If you want to keep him, super sub, bring Ugarte out, bring Casemiro in, especially for 25 minutes if we got a lead. You know Casemiro is going to do the job there. So I'm not too. As long as it keeps McTominay out of that fucking place, I don't really care.
Yeah.
That situation, yes.
Yeah, and Casemiro is going to miss some games with all the yellow cards he gets, right? So
Well, he won't have it. If Ugarte's starting, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. But you know, we have wage issues. I have faith that Ineos is going to do a good job getting us out of it, and that's one thing. All the things we talked about today, Ineos is doing things that we're not accustomed to. I hate to call them Ineos. Does that feel bad? Like I feel like, is that okay? I feel like they should have a different nickname than Ineos. I don't know. I don't know. But you know, I think that seeing how they're moving gives you a lot of confidence. That we have multiple names. We're not just hearing De Jong the whole summer.
Yeah.
Sancho took 2 years. I mean, think about that. Sancho took 2 years, and look what we're going to get rid of him for.
And then we were paid.
It's going to take us long enough to get rid of him. 2 years to get rid of him as well.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. So things look good. I mean,
they do. We're not going to fix everything right off the bat.
No, and we're going to take some lumps next year too. And I think we all hyped and chimed in on that. You know, so
one thing I do like is that they're going after younger guys too. It's not these like older guys, especially with
24, 25.
Yeah, especially with that defender, the 18-year-old and the 23. They're all younger, not proven commodities, right? Guys that are looking to prove themselves.
Yeah, you got center back pairing there for the next 10 years.
Mikey, how do you feel about Ineos? Because I know when we started, you were like, I ain't seen nothing yet, and I respect that about you because we've been scarred.
I mean, now that I'm seeing more talk progressing, I just didn't like the women's thing, and we all know that. I already harped on that enough for enough weeks. I didn't like that. I thought that was just the stupid thing to go after and a dumb thing to get our the ugly part of our fan base going. And fuck those guys. Sorry. But we have some real ugly people that's in our fan group. A lot of them follow me on Facebook. If you're watching this, you know who I'm talking about. You're some ugly bastards. But you know, I didn't like that. But with the business that we're doing now, I like to see, listen, it's okay. You're Ineos, you got money, you got 25%. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. And they're going out and they're doing what they need to do right now. I'm happy about it right now. That's could change if they start doing bad business. But right now, they're doing a good job. Just, do right by the women, man. They got us a title in that game. And that game needs to grow. That game grows, we grow. And more we grow, the better we are for it, and people are like, oh, it's like the WNBA. It's not like the WNBA. It's a whole nother fucking thing than the WNBA. Okay, it's not the same thing.
I'm not as educated on that because full disclosure, I haven't really seen any of the women's games. So
I mean, if you look at the turnout has grown so much.
Yeah, it is growing.
It's grown so much. Now that league is lacking because not all of the teams are in it. It's not the same structure as far as like team wise, because not every team has a women's division, right? But we do that and we build our women. We find a way to do some socialist Mike talking, maybe some profit sharing. We can have that and build that league, have it make money, and it ends up being a thing that can benefit us in the long run. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I just didn't like what he was saying in the beginning, but the business is getting done. He said he was going to do it. I'm being patient. I'm giving them time. You won't hear me ever saying anything crazy about Ineos or whatever the case until I start seeing bad business or a business that I feel like we can't deal with.
The one thing that scares me about Ineos is they're coming in, they're pumping all this money into Manchester United on a 25% stake. Where the fuck are the Glazers?
Yes.
What, you can't put money in for a new stadium?
No,
if
they
you
can't.
No.
No.
It's like, so at the end of the day, though, what's stopping the Glazers at some point coming in and taking full control back? Let Ineos build this shit up and come back in and go, hey, look, we're back together again. We're gonna use them as a cash fucking cow again. Like I love that Ineos is here. I love that Ineos is here, but we need to get rid of those fucking cancerous bastards out. They need to be gone. Like, and I love how it's. Well, I don't love how, but the Glazers out has stopped completely.
Yeah,
but there's nothing to stop them from coming back in and saying we're now in control.
Is it time for another banner?
Yeah, soon, baby.
Like, don't forget, remember.
I don't know, Mikey. I tell you what, it's time for South Carolina. If we see those motherfuckers, we're hurt.
Yeah.
All right.
We got about 3 minutes here. Sean, who wins tomorrow?
Oh yeah,
England
let's get to that.
Oh, I'm
not gonna sleep tonight.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Well, there's a few people in my chat realized that Sean is a very different person when it comes to England. Well, they saw me a very different side of me in the bar at the weekend. But I don't know. I'm going to be pessimistic and say, I don't know. I think Holland wins 2-1.
What?
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
You're like my Mikey. Do you want to chime in on this England thing, or
Yeah, 3-0 England.
There you
Damn.
go. He's a 3 lion.
I would
good with that flag, too, bro. You look good, Mikey.
Harry Kane needs to be dropped, right?
Yes, he does.
Oh.
Harry Kane.
I would do with Harry Kane what Man United would do with Casemiro and Ugarte. I would bring on Ivan Toney.
That's what I was
not working
thinking
out. Bring him in for the last 40 minutes, around 60th minute, and just let him cook. Because I don't think he's fit. I don't.
He looks off the pace, don't he?
Yeah, he looks off the pace. But me and Mikey were saying earlier, he's dropping too deep. When Mainu turned those players the other day, he turned those players. He ran towards the goal, and there was nobody there.
Yes.
Nobody there.
Too. I seen it.
Like what a turn for an 18-year-old kid. And to sit there and see nobody in front of you, it was heartbreaking for him, and then also as an England fan. And he's just got to stop coming back because he doesn't need to come back. You've got Declan Rice and Kobe Mainu behind you. This is not Calvin fucking Phillips. You got 2 great players back there that can handle this shit. Stay in the box.
I think if Southgate gets food poisoning, it would be 3-0. It'll be a dynamic game.
Yeah, exactly. Let them boys play, man.
But
Let them just go out there
I'm going to
play.
stay in the theme. It's going to be 1-1 going to PKs.
England win.
I'm going to give the nod to England.
Out of the 2 teams, who has a better chance to beat Spain? Netherlands or
England does. England.
England.
I want England to win. I want it to be England, Spain, and I want England to win.
That got
Just
real.
because I don't want Spain to win.
Wow, that's ill.
The only
colonize.
last thing here,
Right.
real quick, before we go off, is the only thing that I think will be good for England tomorrow is England has played a bunch of defensive teams. I don't know if anyone's seen it. There's been a lot of players back. Tomorrow, Holland are not going to play like that. They're going to be open, and it's going to allow England to be open too, especially Saka on the right. I think
Mikey, real quick, get your stuff out.
Hey, yeah, tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Tap
Perfect.
in with us. United Fan Zone, YouTube. You can follow my Facebook. You know, I'll stream on there as well. Sean will have his stuff that you can stream on. We'll put out a post. You can come in, watch. It's gonna be a great show, man. We got all kinds of graphics and tickers and boxes, and we're talking real ball.
Because
All right, y'all.
Nice.
It's been another good show. Had a good time. I'm in the whip. I'm out.
Later.
boys.
You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.